How's it going? Well, I don't know when that cut in, but how's it going, everyone? Not exactly what I was planning on talking about tonight, but, yeah, it's what it's going to be. Well, okay. Sorry, the new studio has still got me a little flummoxed here. Wow. Hope y'all are doing okay. I actually had a whole different stream planned, but Rob Reiner is somebody we should talk about. First off, I'm going to say right away, rest in peace to Rob and his wife, Michelle. And prayers and hopes go to his family. I'm going to try to be as non-political about this as possible. Sure, it may come up off and on, but I'm not going to make this video solely about the man's politics. We will juxtapose a little bit of the position of most of the people I've seen tonight on social media and what they're saying about Rob Reiner and his wife and their death. Maybe juxtapose that to how certain other people handled Charlie Kirk's. And I'm going to say right now, for you people on the left, this is how it's done. This is how it's done. Rob Reiner was an epic TV and filmmaker. He was a good actor. Joel, how you doing? Yes. Meathead from All in the Family. Yeah, and he went on to really have a hell of a career. TV, movies, actor, writer, producer. I mean, come on. Stand By Me. Princess Bride. Two of my favorite movies. Come on. Everybody was touched by Stand By Me. Stand By Me is still considered one of the best movies ever. I mean, come on. Princess Bride? Oh my gosh, that's a good movie. And I believe, didn't he do National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not that deep into Hollywood. I'm more the sci-fi-ish guy, but didn't he do a lot of that? Do the National Lampoons and a bunch of others? How you doing tonight, Joel? But no, it's not a happy thing. And the only way I'm going to bring politics into it at all is to say that lefties, screw you. This is how it should be done. I have barely seen anybody out there making disparaging remarks about Rob and his wife. We don't have to agree with the man's politics. The man says some abhorrent stuff politically. The man checked himself into a mental ward because of Trump getting reelected. Yet we can all look at the man's TV, movies, acting career, whatever, his whole body of work and go, damn, that guy was amazing. That guy touched us. I don't think there's barely anybody out there that can look back and not have been touched by Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner as an actor, as a writer, a producer, on any of it. Director, sorry. He did it all. And we are out there to say, hey, you know what? It sucks. It's too bad to see this happen. I really hope the best for his family. I mean, damn. What do you say? I mean, you guys in the chat, anybody commenting, watching this later, what's your favorite Rob Reiner TV show, movie? It could be as an actor, could be as director, whatever. What's your favorite? For me, I'm stuck between Stand By Me and Princess Bride. I know some people go, oh, such a boring thing. Now, if I remember right, and he did do Christmas Vacation, that'd be my wife's. I mean, holy heck. How you doing, Jay Watterson? Not the video I had planned tonight, guys. I was gonna react to a whole other video about United States and Venezuela and the war possibly about to start. But I thought this was a little more important, honestly. Not because I'm trying to grab headlines. I'm a tiny channel. It's not like I'm grabbing something big. Hey, Sog, how you doing, my friend? Heck, I don't know. I just think it's sad. And I did see somebody on X earlier that was saying good riddance and it posted, haha, bye-bye, meathead, or something like that. And I wasn't the first. I was the second one. But right after us, there were others. The first lady that jumped on said, dude, bad taste, stop it, erase this. I commented something about, this is retarded, do not do this crap. We are not them. Do not do this. And there were others jumping on right afterwards going, fuck that, do not. That is disrespectful. You mourn the man's passing, whether we agreed or not. So, yeah. Jay Watterson, Stand By Me was good, but I'd have to say Dickie Roberts. Oh, okay. I remember, yeah, okay. Yeah, but wasn't Dickie Roberts, isn't that the one that they say is actually about his son Nick? I'm just asking. And I think that was the one they actually say was written to be loosely about his son Nick and some of his mental and drug problems. So yeah, I can see that though. Yeah, but yeah, but no, I'm glad there aren't too many people going the way of the left. In fact, a lot of people are calling it out, which we'll get to in a little bit. This won't be a real long stream, guys. I mean, my channel is politics and pop culture. I know I've been lax on the pop culture. I apologize. I'm actually going to change some of my channel stuff here soon, because we will be doing more of what I find interesting, which is usually politics and pop culture stuff. And even a little video game stuff, even though I don't play anymore, but I do watch a lot of game stuff. Well, that was a different movie. Oh, which one was it, Jay Watterson? I thought that was it. Okay. But let's do some looking at this. I'm sure a lot of us have seen and heard a lot. Justin, this is from Kyle Becker. Hollywood director Rob Reiner. Yeah, a lot of people know him in the movies for director. And I know a lot of us do, because director of like Stand By Me and Dickie Roberts and all this other stuff. But a lot of us still know him as an actor, a producer, writer. He's everywhere. What a career. Rob Reiner's wife were found reportedly killed by their son, Nick Reiner. There was reports early on that found dead, and then it started amping up. Murder and the murder and criminal robbery division had been called in. Then there was something mysterious. Then stabbed. Then suddenly it looks like they were killed and by their son Nick. Nick is, if this is true, he's the one that has, I believe, a long-standing heroin and or other drug problem. Being Charlie. Thank you, Jay Watterson. Thank you very much. But yeah, but Nick is the one that has problems. Like Kyle says right here, I didn't care for his politics. In fact, I trolled Rob Reiner on his X account. All credit, honestly, if you go through a lot of his X posts, you'll find a Lion's Den, or a few times under my actual name, Kylie, you'll find me on there trolling back. But it was never nasty, hoping, end of his life or anything. Just going after his politics. But just like Kyle here, I didn't care for his politics, but this is a terrible tragedy, and he didn't deserve that. Yeah. See, that's not so hard to say, Democrats. 100%. I mean, soon as they started saying they found somebody in their home that was around age 78 and around age 68 dead, it's like, oh, crap. See, Rob Reiner, 78, she's 68. Shit. So, yeah, I mean, it is sad. But, yeah, I'm glad, like Kyle here, and they're going to see some others that are saying the same thing. And there are people warning others out there. Watch out for the left doing, this is not about Rob, this is not political about Rob. Watch out for leftards out there right now. They're going to be desperate not to look like the pieces of shit they are. They are pieces of shit. And the way they acted and still act about Charlie Kirk's death. Hell, what do you think half of Candace's viewership is right now? It's leftards. I'm not going to go into the Candace thing. I am just, ugh, that is skymey. But these lefties, they know they're bad people. They crapped all over the Charlie Kirk thing and still are wiping their monkey feces all over that stuff, acting like pieces of crap. And now they know, even to themselves, not only to themselves, to the world right now, they look even worse. Because everybody in the center and right are coming out, holy shit. And they're not doing it for political reasons. It's because center and right people are sane, and we may not like somebody's politics. We may even wish them to go to a padded room, or maybe to be deported, but we don't wish them to have their lives violently ended in their homes. That is horrible. And now these lefties look even worse. So a lot of people are starting to warn, watch out. Watch out for bullshit fake accounts or lefties trying to act like right-leaning people, trying to say, oh yeah, go Reiner, yeah, get him. Because they're going to try to make themselves look good. They've got to bring everybody down to their level, or they look even more horrible after this tragedy. They are going to look bad, and you watch out for the bullshit they're going to be trying. But yeah, let's see us pull.
And good evening, I'm Trace Gallagher in Los Angeles. We have breaking news coming into the Fox News channel. You are looking live right there at Los Angeles. This is actually the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles, where authorities are telling us a couple of hours ago they went into a home that is owned by the actor, producer, director, and political activist Rob Reiner. And inside that home, they found 2 dead bodies. One is a male, 78 years old. The other is a female.
And that's where it started. 78, 68, a 10-second Google search, actually 3 seconds if you type better than me. Automatically you're going, oh shit, Rob Reiner 78. His wife Michelle is 68. Crap. Right then, I knew. Because I'm like, wait a minute. My wife's going, how old's Rob Reiner? I'm like, I think 78. So,
female, they tell us around 68 years old. Rob Reiner, we can tell you there has been no identification, but Rob Reiner is 78 years old. His wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, is around 68 years old. But again, the police have not given us any kind of identification. It is important to note that in the 2 hours that they have been in the house, that they found the bodies, there has been no word from anybody in the Reiner family at all. We know that robbery homicide for Los Angeles police were the first ones on scene. There were investigators also on scene, but again, the police have not given us any type of information except for the fact that they found 2 dead bodies in there. There has been no identification at all.
Well, then they identified them later on. Later on, they identified them as Rob and his wife, Michelle. And then, like I said, it kept escalating. I'm sure you guys, some of you know this, it kept escalating. First, it was somebody found dead, Rob Reiner's home. Then it was murder and the burglary people called in. Then it was 2 people aged 78 and 68. Then, yeah, Rob and his wife. Then Rob and his wife stabbed to death. Then, oh crap, Nick is possible suspect. So yeah, it's not good. Yeah, see, I like no hate. I've seen no hatred directed to Rob Reiner from the right. I saw one person, but I don't know if it was a right-leaning person. But either way, me and everybody else were dogpiling him. We disagreed on a lot. He was a brilliant filmmaker. Yeah, somebody can be amazing at 1 or 2 things and suck at something else, or have blind spots. You know? Holy crap. But yeah, everybody's saying, my thoughts are with his friends and family. How's this so hard? Now, this is the thing here. This is stupid. For all the MAGA who are cheering and writing disgusting comments celebrating the tragic death of Rob Reiner. Bullshit. No, they're not. Bullshit. I've seen one out of all the stuff I was looking through. One. And they were dogpiling him. And they're not even sure it was MAGA. There were people on there going, this is a lefty. Look at they're trying to pull up the info, and there's nothing there. It's like, bullshit. Who wears the masks and who hides? Lefties. So this is bullshit right here. For all the MAGA who are cheering and writing disgusting comments celebrating the tragic death of Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, by the way. Here's a video of Reiner's gracious and unifying comments on the murder of Charlie Kirk. You should watch it. Yeah, I saved it. I had it right here. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Rob Reiner responded with grace and compassion to Charlie's assassination. He didn't celebrate it like the sick fucks out there. Rob Reiner may have disagreed with Charlie Kirk. He did not celebrate his death. This video makes it all the more painful to hear of he and his wife's tragic end. May God be close to the broken-hearted in this terrible story. Yeah. Now, this is worth watching. So if you see anybody, center and right, celebrating Reiner's death, you tell them to fuck off. Put that shit away. Go to the left where you need to be. Don't hang around us. Because this is how Rob Reiner reacted. Let me get me shrunk down here. So I'm going to show you a video, so I can't have me in the way. So let's go with... Boing. There we go. Now I'll puff me up a little. All right. There we go. All right, no problem, Jay Watterson. I will check here in a sec, bud. But yeah, this is... So don't let anybody gaslight you. It's not right-leaning people doing this. Nobody's doing it. And Rob Reiner doesn't deserve it because this is how he handled when he was asked about Charlie Kirk's.
When you first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk, what was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror, absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are.
Hey, guess what, lefties? How's that so hard? I and many other people on the center and right were trolling Rob back and forth on X and all over social media. Thought the man needed help. Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because, yep, Jay Watterson was posting the same thing. I already had called up and ready to go. But thank you, Jay Watterson. But no, look at Rob. The huge disagreements. The man was so distressed about Donald Trump winning the election, he put himself in a mental home. Yet he could still find the grace, the honesty, and the love for his fellow man to say this should never happen. He didn't have to hem and haw at it. He didn't have to screw around. He didn't have to go ha-ha. None of it. It should never happen. Never happen. So at least Rob Reiner, he deserves the exact same grace that he afforded Charlie Kirk and anybody who liked Charlie Kirk. So we should definitely make sure, do not, and I am saying right out, do not let anybody skate by, whether you think it's a real center-right person or some bullshit account trying to stir the shit to make themselves look better. The left knows they look like crap right now. Wait, everybody's handling this. They look like ghouls. Don't let them skate. Don't. And if it is somebody truly on the center right, screw that. Even worse, take them down harder. Do not let this go. We cannot have this crap going on.
That should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are.
Damn right.
That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, at the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful and absolutely, she forgave his assassin. And I think that is admirable.
The thing is, if you go back to Rob's timeline and look on his X account after he did this statement on Piers Morgan, there were tons of people on the right, and I say center right because I don't even consider myself a righty. There are a lot of people like me that are center that like Donald Trump. But the center right, there were a lot of people coming out and making comments to Rob thank you. That was a good thing. That's great. Why can't the rest of the left do what you did, sir? He got a lot of good comments. And you know what? I would like to think that maybe made Rob think a little better of those he disagreed with politically. Because he did the right thing, and other people came who also disagreed with him and said thank you. But this is how he handled Charlie Kirk's death. And Jay Watterson, like mines, man. So I am not letting anybody skate on nailing on Rob Reiner right now or celebrating his death. We don't have to agree like he said there, and he handled it extremely well. But I tell you what, he could really throw some crap on X and everywhere else. But you know what? It's talk, it's words, it's debate, it's discussion, back and forth. We don't always have to agree. So, yep. That's, some of the ones 5 hours ago, Rob Reiner's wife, Michelle, found stabbed to death in her home. People claims their sources tell them the attacker was their son. And Nick, if you look at some of the pictures of this kid, he's a little goofy. He's a little goofy. So, I'm not going to say, and Rob Reiner does not deserve this anyway. For anybody that you're going to wish that on, it sure wouldn't be somebody like Rob Reiner. There are people of certain, let's say, Epstein proclivities that maybe you could, edge that way. YouTube. So, yeah. Gunther Eagleman. Liberals are desperately searching for a prominent conservative mocking Rob Reiner and his wife's passing. Michelle Reiner, by the way. I'm going to keep saying that. Sometimes when a famous person goes, they forget the other person's name just fades away. No, it's Rob and Michelle Reiner. I've seen nothing but statements like Andrews. They can cope with it. They can't cope with that fact. No, because it makes them look like ghouls. Brooklyn Defiant, Dad Defiant, yeah. Very sad, still unconfirmed news that Rob Reiner has possibly died. As two bodies matching his and his wife's age were found dead at his house in Brentwood. He was a brilliant artist. He was. Who has created so many movies that made me laugh my ass off. And even Meathead back in the Archie Bunker days. You look at him then. God, he played the part good. Maybe the part was closer to him than, I don't know, might have been closer to his politics anyway by looks of it. Maybe he wasn't acting as much. It's not a mean shot to say. Sometimes if you're doing something right up your lane, But what's even sadder is that the same people up in arms that some assholes on the internet wrongly celebrate Charlie Kirk's death are celebrating Rob Reiner's. Yeah. So, yeah, I will say this. I have not seen a lot of people on the right doing that. But if you're a leftist, you're a Democrat or whatever, who has done nothing but laugh and shit on Charlie Kirk, his family, think it was funny he got murdered, think there should be more of it, but you're mad about this, you are the piece of shit. You are a fascist, turd piece of shit. And we don't want you dead, but we would love to remove you from the country. You should be deported. You have your citizenship removed and be booted. People were always booted out. Kicked out of countries, kicked out of cities, whatever. It was a way to get rid of the people you didn't want around screwing up your community. You were excommunicado. Goodbye. The Klingons would all turn their back on you. You would accept discommodation. Goodbye. And that's what I would like to see with those people. Two-faced, fascist pieces of shit. They will wish death on anybody that disagrees with them and laugh about it. But as soon as it's somebody they agree with, oh, horror! How dare you make fun? You know what? If anything, Rob Reiner at least got to go out with more dignity than Charlie Kirk did. Charlie Kirk's death is out there on 4K ad nauseum for anybody to see. There are people watching that. Not to be graphic here. Watching that bullet pierce his neck, blood spurt out, and him just automatically die. There are people watching that and laughing. As bad as this man's death was, at least it wasn't in the public eye like that. His family won't have to deal with it being on video like that ad nauseum for life. Charlie Kirk's kids will see that someday. Hey, Maga, why don't you show us how people should act if someone you don't like just died? 100%. People are doing it. People are doing it. People are commenting like crazy they don't like that this guy's been killed. I mean, people are commenting. They're putting the video there. People coming together. Look at that. A prayer from Jesus. Hell yeah. I mean, you can't. There's one. This guy found one. Me that fucked up too found it. You know, who's this person? Let's see who this is. Who is Buzz? Oh, they gotta give me Buzz. Okay. Oh, I'd like to find out if that's a real person. Or a real right-leaning. I'm sure you guys can probably look up quicker than I can. I'm not ignoring you guys. Just, well, here we fucking go. I don't know. I don't even know what that one means. Jeez. That's... Yep. Yeah, see? This person here talked a lot of shit with him. Yeah, I've talked shit to him. Actually, he actually acknowledged two of my posts back. Of course, so is George Takei, so, ooh. Yeah, I've been pushing them bounds, haven't I? George Takei. Yeah, I gave him an oh my with a long thing on something about gay marriage one time, and oh boy. Or no, it was the trans thing. Oof. He's now been judged, but it was a hell of a thing knowing your own son. Wow, that's horrid. And you know, whichever, if it was a stabbing, it wasn't fast. And each of those people had to know their kid was doing it, and then see the other, their spouse probably be ended by their son. I mean, Jesus. I don't know if any ghouls, this ghoulish fuck up here, that ghoulish fuck there, that's, There's disliking somebody. There's hating somebody. There's not wishing the best for them. There's wishing we could boot them out of the country. There's wishing we could jail somebody. But wishing some ghoulish shit. Oh, that's not right. Quick commenting on Brooklyn Doper's post. Yeah, so. It's. Yeah, there you go. I despised his politics. Loved Rob Reiner's movie. Stand By Me, 1986 is incredible. It is. It is a great movie. I'm not going to hit play on the sound because, yeah. A lot of everybody, though. All of his political views differ from mine. This is awful, tragic horror. Yeah. Everybody. In a world full of liberal Democrats. And I'm doing this ad on purpose, guys. Because... look at how easy it was to find all the fuckwits on the left, laughing, giggling, going up in front of people, mourning Charlie Kirk in person, go, bleh, 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 and funny. Whew. Not gonna lie, it's hard not wishing that would happen to them. You doing shit like that. That's, wow. In a world full of liberal Democrats who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk and think it's funny. Be a conservative Republican and mourn the loss of Rob Reiner and his wife. You don't even have to, you could just mourn the loss of a man who created movie and TV that touched people. There are people that laughed, cried, that were really, thank God, his stories really did do a good job. People are made up of more than politics. 100%. That's not good. There are people bringing out saying that he was on the Epstein list, but it's... No. And you can see what this person is. Mike Titler, Michelle Titler, Jack Posobiec is deep state. I mean, you can already see what this person is. So this isn't even a righty. You're not going to tell me this is MAGA. This is a piece of shit lefty already. Yeah, this is a piece of shit leftist. Oh, yeah, let's see here. Who is this? Ambassador to the Galactics for Disclosure. Oh. Q is the Galactic Federation of Light. That's a lefty. All right. So let me catch up with you guys real quick. I just know we could scan through tons of those. There's tons and tons and tons. I had a lot of them bookmarked, except for Dum Dum there. Treating this as a murder case. I mean, damn, I loved his work, and I did not agree with his politics, yet no one deserves to go out like that. Yes. Like I said, for every one dummy that might be an actual right-leaning person that celebrates this, you could find 20,000 of those on the left. When Charlie Kirk was killed, liberals cheered. If Rob Reiner has met his demise, conservatives won't celebrate. Many out have agreed to his political views and bizarre rants, but we'll send our thoughts and prayers for his family and those he may have left behind. Yeah. Here's one that's simple, though. Remember when Charlie Kirk was killed and the left celebrated? Rob Reiner is dead. I'm not celebrating. See how easy that is? Yeah. I know you guys are probably getting bored of me doing this, but it needs to be said. We need to ad nauseum show how ghoulish the left truly is. How outwardly evil and bad they are. It needs to be hammered home, not just to everybody out there that may be on the fence, or everybody that may be slowly edging that way, go, oh shit, no. It needs to be hammered home to the lefties themselves. Look how horrid you are. Man. Rob Reiner and his wife have been found murdered in their home. None of us will celebrate Reiner's death. Don't do it. If you hear a fellow MAGA celebrating Reiner's death, call them out. We are better. 100%. Yeah, okay, here it is. Jay Watterson. Yeah, Being Charlie. The movie Rob Reiner made about his son, Nick Reiner. I mean, I couldn't imagine. How do you get to that point? How do you get to a point where you are going to not only take out your parents, but do it in such a horrid way? I mean, what the absolute funk? How do you get to that point? Now, this is a little fact for you. Jay Watterson, did you know this one? I always throw that at him because he seems to know all this little minutia. Rob Reiner's wife, Michelle, took the photo for the cover of this book. Rob Reiner's wife took that picture. Isn't that flippin' crazy? That is insane. That's just nuts. What the shit? Holy hell. And I looked, I found a couple other people that said, yeah, this is real. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but Rob Reiner, we didn't know how to help our son fight drug addiction. Dude, but what type of drug addicted insanity brings you to doing that to your parents? I'm asking because things that are super illogical, my brain has a problem with. And I have what they call a multi-track brain. Right now, every one of them is going, what the absolute? How do you get to that point? Princess Bride, one of my favorite movies of all times. It is epic. Epic. And then other people, Rob Reiner's name is on the Jeffrey Epstein list. A lot of people's names are on it. Doesn't mean they did anything. There's a lot of people that are just on it and had nothing to do with that stuff. That's the problem with the Epstein shit. You gotta be careful. Just because somebody's name is on it don't mean they did diddling. But, come on. I do know that, let me check with you guys. We'll go a little more here, but. The Bondi match, yeah, I was going to talk about that partially tonight too, but I'm not going to mix that with Rob Reiner's death. I know some of you may not like that, but I'm not going to mix Rob Reiner's death with the whole thing that happened on the beach over there. But I will say this, one thing I will say, then we're not going to stick with it for tonight, but I may have to talk about it tomorrow. But dude, there was a guy there in Australia. He attacked. He snuck up behind and took down a guy with a gun, took the gun away, so that asshat had to run away and hide with his other buddy up on the bridge. That man right now is a fucking hero. And I'm going to say this, lefties, to all you weak-willed, jelly-rolled, face-covering little chicken shits, that's what a man is. And women, that's your toxic masculinity right there. That is a man who comes up and grabs and fights over the rifle of somebody shooting innocent people. You don't get that from guys on your side. You don't get that bravery. You don't get that bravery by beating masculinity out of men until they wear dresses and identify as dear self or something. Or I identify, no, like the guy who was it in France or something on a vacation, and he gets attacked. Him and his girlfriend get attacked and he runs away and leaves her. Yeah, that is that's what you've done to men. Real masculinity built the world, saved the world, protects the world. And that guy in Australia, big balls. Damn. All right, but we're not going to dig into that because I'm going to stick with this, and it's not going to be the really longest stream in the world because of it. But I don't want to dishonor and go over to too many things on that. I want to stick with this one thing. But yes, it was a very bad thing. And yes, it was an Islamic attack. It was Islamic. They were doing it for a reason. You're not going to go and just two guys of that descent. You know, somebody says one of the guys been there 10, 15 years or whatever. But of that descent and go start blopping out Jews, having a thing on a beach chair and say that was anything else. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Yes. My guess is they told him he's not in the will. Wouldn't be the first time this is the reaction. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be wondering if it's something to do with that, or they wouldn't give him any more money. I'm going to say, biggest reaction I've had in my life, seeing some people who've been around drugs and stuff. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with too much of it in my family, but I've had friends who had a lot of it in their families. And I saw some very violent reactions when a parent, a brother, a sister told a family member, we're not helping you. No, you're not staying here. You're not coming back bringing those drugs in this house. You're not coming back here. We're not giving you more money. No, I don't care if you're in debt. Don't care if you're up your neck in the junk with a junkie or a bookie. We're done. We're done. And that's brought some violent reactions. It has. I have a friend he's an ex-friend. His dad is actually a friend of mine, too. Both auto techs, but that dad had to boot the son ex-friend out because he wouldn't stop alcohol. And he let him live in his house. Said, okay, but you cannot drink right here, because the guy had his grandchildren living there with him. His daughter and grandchildren living there. And what's he do? Brings in beer in the house, gets all drunk and belligerent. Got belligerent with the little grandkids. The dad is like, I'm done. I can't do it no more. Get the F out. Hasn't talked to him in a decade now. His own daughter, my ex-friend's daughter, hasn't talked to him since she got out of high school. She now has been in the military, has a daughter of her own. That's sad. That is sad. And I saw you guys in here talking about we have mental problems. Yeah, mental health problems, yes. Any motives being discussed? Joel, I'm going to guess, since it was Nick, that a lot of us in the chat, some of the stuff you see in the chat, and even what I'm guessing is probably was some of the right things. Either they said, that's it, you're out of the will. No, we're not giving you more money. No, you're not staying here and bringing these druggy friends around. We're not having you drag around heroin needles in our house and shit. Nope. I'm going to guess that's what it is. Because it sounds like Rob and his wife have been trying shit for decades. And the only down thing I can say is put the motherfucker away. Stop dicking around with people that are drug addicted, alcohol addicted for decades. It gets them nowhere. You put them somewhere and you make them stay there until they're good. And then if they relapse, you put them right back in right away. Don't dick around. I have another friend whose marriage just broke up because he can't get off the alcohol. And if he sees this, I have nothing against him. It's just, man, God, dude. To lose that because you can't put down the alcohol. So I'm going to guess something like that. I know I'm behind with you guys. Brad, I am up on the Bondi thing. I just don't want to mix it with this. But yeah, it's horrible. I've seen a lot of videos, and that guy there, balls. I think, was it 12 or 16 dead? It's a sick, violent world. It always has been, honestly. Humans are violent. The animal species, Mother Nature's violent. The thing is right now, is everybody's walking around with a 4K movie studio in their hands. You didn't have this before. People, oh my God, these shootings didn't happen. Yeah, they did. Maybe not quite at the level we're having now, but they did always happen. There's always been violence. People would end somebody else's lives over a pair of Air Jordans, but we didn't have these carried around with us everywhere. People filming it and sharing it and live streaming it and sending it to every social media site. So yeah, it's always been violent. Just now we get to see it in 4K. 2 seconds after it happened even. So yeah. My guess I told him not to be in the will. Okay, I was there. Yeah, we were avoiding that area not too long ago. It was a crazy guy in a mall with a shiv. And the bad thing is, Australia, you're not allowed to protect yourself. I had a friend there that said that women can't even carry pepper spray. Is that true? Don't get caught with a pocket knife in your pocket? It's like, Bunny, you're like Jewish people. Mental health is a bigger problem than any other time in history. It is true, yeah. Yeah, we are having a big problem. And it's pushing people over the edge and taking it out on their end. Oh, yeah. Well, we've got a mixture. And now this is going to be, I know I'm behind in the chat, guys. I'll catch up. Yeah, we do have a big mental health problem right now. And the thing is, people center and right have been screaming about it for a good while, especially people on the right. Every time they say, hey, we need to fix this mental health problem. And people in the center have come around. But people on the left, it's a gun. It's a gun's fault. Oh yeah? Then why don't you blame the car? When somebody uses a car to go mow down people in a Wisconsin Christmas parade. Hey, whatever happened to that guy? You don't blame Ford for that. I believe he used a Ford Escape. Don't blame Ford, but hey, somebody uses a firearm. Got to go after the gun company too. We do have a mental health problem, and I think some of it is the media pushing insane, crazy shit, programming people against Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a nationwide, universally pretty much loved. I know there's some people that didn't like him, but pretty universally liked and loved and respected media mogul and real estate investor. Suddenly, the media and probably our government got people to flip on him 180 within days. That's power. So they've been hammering that this man is evil and brainwashing. So you got the media, the government, the more they divide us, the more they make us crazy, the more stories they have, the more clicks they can generate, eyes on their TV shows, and the more money they make. And the more power they have to shape us the way they want. And then you got the internet. The internet is bad. We don't go anywhere anymore. I am happy to see that Gen Z and some Gen Alphas are starting to look to going back to malls, going out and doing things in person. They're looking at the internet thing going, this is kind of boring. Ooh, people? Hey. There's malls in some areas coming back because some younger people are going, this online shopping is so boring. What? We can go walk around people and see stores and touch stuff? So there's a lot that we got generations though, like 2-3 generations that are screwed up. Everybody gets a trophy. Sticks and stones are gone. It's where it's hurt. You've got, you can be a kitty cat. You can be a puppy. I can be a boy. I can be a girl today. Whatever animals I feel like wearing. There's aging me. So you mix all this stuff, and the internet has made us not social. A couple generations of people don't do anything. There are people now, if you're in the line at the grocery store and you say, hey, how's it going today? They look at you like they're about to blow the he touched me whistle. You know what I mean? Oh my God, a human talked to me. That is mental illness. And you got all these people that are so goofy, they're on mental drugs. Then they're on mental drugs for the mental drugs, and it goes on and on. So yeah, we are screwed up. Mental health right now is pretty messed up. I mean, you can blame the boomers for some of it. I'm going to blame some of them too. Because generations went out cruising on the avenues wherever you lived. Hung out at places. Oh no. Then all the boomers got old and they started making it illegal. Repetitive driving up and down this street is illegal and you'll get fined. They actually put huge money in my area. At the time, weren't a lot of these around. Unmarked cars with lights built into the windows just to go stop cruising. Good job. All those cruising avenues are almost dead now. You idiots. You took away the fun that you enjoyed and screwed everybody. There used to be underage nightclubs in this area where you could go to before you were 21. Stage 2, sneakers, a bunch of them. And now there's 0 in this area. How many 21 up dance clubs, nightclubs are there in the Quad Cities anymore? Big area, 430,000 people. About 2 or 3. That's it. It's piss poor. They've made everything so hard to actually be social. So you got government, media, internet, boomers. Yep. Boomers. And once they got old, well, I'm not having fun, neither are you. Gonna make everything I enjoyed illegal. Ha ha. Alright, so I know I'm behind, guys. I know how he got to that point. He's trapped in the Hollywood bubble. Yeah. It does seem strange. The Hollywood bubble is crazy. It is rife with insanity of one way or another. Drug use, alcohol abuse, divorces, cheating scandals, violence, and a bunch of crap. It's just a den of scum and villainy. I bet you know what movie that's from. Yeah. So yeah, the Hollywood bubble. Did not know at the time the photo was taken, Trump had a lifelong Democrat. Yeah? Still kind of cool, though, isn't it, that Rob Reiner's wife took that picture? All right, so on behind. Hey, Kay Candy, how's it going? Jay Waters has the elephant brain. He can remember so much. Yeah. I don't know if he remembers so much. He just knows a lot of the minutia. That's the stuff that sticks. I'm like, Sergeant Schultz know nothing. Sergeant Schultz. God, that's a good show. Hogan's Heroes. Still a good show. Go back and watch. Let's see. We didn't have the threat of Islamists like we do now. Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of threats out there we didn't used to have. But like I said, we used to be a lot more social and do stuff. Hell, I admit, in my own neighborhood, I don't know the people near as well as people all used to know each other in neighborhoods. Out where I grew up, twice a year they used to get together, have a big pig roast or something in one of the fields right there. And they'd have a big bonfire, people yell keg and pop for kids and games and hay rack rides and potluck. Everybody had a big hay rack thing full of foods and did that, got together. That hasn't happened out there for 25, 30 years. And that's out in the country where people are still friendly and wave at each other, not in town. People don't talk. And that's how we dehumanize each other and hate each other so much, when you don't talk. I've said before, live streaming like this is still more social than a lot of people do. Talking to chat, you guys listen to me talk, whatever. That's still more social than what a lot of people do anymore. We will sit, my wife and I will sit and watch family members sit 5 feet from each other, ticka, 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 ticka. They'll be talking to each other on their phones. Not talking to each other. And they're not saying anything, because my wife grabbed one of the phones at the time. They're not saying anything they shouldn't just be saying out loud. It's just standard stuff. Yeah, what do we want to do? Just standard shit. So like they're hee, look at Jones' shirt. Look at Jim Bob's hat. Hee. None of that. They are talking through these instead of actually just talking to each other. That's craziness. Jack says, asked me to release a statement. I do not and have not ever had a catnip problem. I don't know if I believe you. Conspiracy theory. Guy on news here who said he escaped the October 7th to Israel and now is here for this. Mentioned in case I missed your next stream. Guy on news here who said he escaped October 7th in Israel and now is here for this. Oh, yeah, they were saying there were some Israelis that escaped the October 7th massacre, as they would call it there, and came to Australia, and now they got ended in this. That's freaky. No weapons allowed here. Yeah, all that means, Rad, all that means is the bad guys can do whatever they want. When you guys took away guns, it didn't really lower your crime rates at all. In fact, a lot of your home invasions, the crimes against women, carjackings, and a lot of other very, very, very bad assaults and everything went up. Because the bad guys go, we're safe. We're safe. And the only people that have the guns are the bad guys. Hell, in America, if something like that was going on, what would have happened? There might have been somebody carrying their concealed weapon, and they wouldn't have had to take a chance of risking their own life and tackling a dude with a gun. Could have just, boop, shut down. Good night, sweet prince. Or, we'd go for the leg, YouTube. But if you can't wish an end on somebody who's actively mowing people down, then YouTube has got a problem. YouTube, you're fucked up if wishing that person to be ended while they're ending multiple people, innocent people's lives on a beach. You need to re-examine your shit. For person with mental health problems, you're spot on about the media making people worse. It definitely affects yeah, it does. Oh yeah, Sog. Especially since you go on, and what do they just show you? The horrible stuff. Lefties that hate cops, all they are shown is, oh my God, cop beating black guy, cop doing this bad thing. They never show all the amazing thing police do. They never show them the stats that for every one of these bad police interactions or bad police officers, there's 5 million good interactions and lives saved by police. They don't show you that. So they cause mental illness. Mental illness, problems, drama, bring eyes to the news stations. They bring clicks. They bring money. It's like that old song, Dirty Laundry. Kick them up, kick them when they're down. It sells. It sells. That's what they're doing, and they don't give a rat's ass about your mental health. It's money, eyes, and power. That's all it is. A lot of the cruising laws have been rescinded. Yeah, but the problem is it's too late, Jay Watterson, because now you got generations of younger people that don't drive. They Uber, or they don't care. They make mommy and daddy. We have 35-year-old people who've never had a driver's license because they just still live with mom and dad and have them take them places. Driver's licenses for the last couple generations have been the lowest in the history per capita of our country since driver's license started becoming a thing. That's crazy. And then they don't have the money. They don't have the money to buy a car because the boomers screwed them. They don't have the gas, if they do have the car, to go wasting. I mean, holy shit. So there's a lot of problems there. And they're not all areas are there rescinded the cruising laws. But even if you do go, if the laws are rescinded, you go out there, and some of the times the cities or the police still harass you. They'll pull you over randomly and want to search your car or screw with you. So a lot of people still don't do it. And then when you do go cruising, we used to have businesses. 23rd Avenue, Moline, Illinois. You'd have Miller Time Billiards. Had a great place to play some video games. Street Fighter 2, Terminator 2, our pinball game. Bunch of stuff. Food. You could use the bathrooms and shoot some pool, listen to some music at Fender's Bar. You could go to Denny's. You could go to any of the gas stations and hang out in the lot. They didn't care as long as you cleaned up. North Star gas station. They had lots at the old mall there you could hang out. People made money. People hung out. Now they do not let you loiter even if you can cruise. You just got to drive back and forth. You can't pull over and talk to your friends, hang out. Half the Denny's are gone. Half the Village Inns are gone. There's no place they allow you to hang out like they used to. There aren't as many places to hang out. So it's screwed everybody. Jackson's favorite scene and quote from The Karate Kid is sweep the leg. No, his is no mercy. He has a little Cobra Kai tattoo on his left rear flank. Got my driver's license the day I turned 16. My mom, yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents, Joel, me getting a driver's license was as big a deal to my parents as it was to me. Because out where I grew up in the country. I still say sometimes, my wife will laugh at me. What do you got? Well, I got to go to town today and run some errands. And she laughs because we live in town now. Going to my house growing up did involve turning off the paved road. So all my friends were a ways away from me. They were 3 to 5 miles from me. And if I wanted to go to see a movie, my parents had to drive me clear into Milan or somewhere. If I go to a friend's house, bring me there, drop me off. Go over here, drop me off. Go do this. Run me here, run me there. When I got a license, they were like, oh, thank God. Here's the car keys. Get the hell out of our face. But they didn't let me do that very much. It was pretty much, oh, you're going to get your driver's license. Great. You better save some money, get a vehicle so you can pay some insurance. But it was as big a deal. It was as much for my freedom. Yes, I could go somewhere. Let's go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a theater. See you later, Mom. Bye, Dad. And my parents were like, oh, long day. We don't have to drive him anywhere. Isn't it great? Yep. So, yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was a rite of passage for generations of Americans. And some people it still is. Some people are still, I have my license, yes. There are some schools now don't even have driver's ed. They don't even have driver's ed classes. What the absolute shit. So I'm with you, Joel. I was excited. I had my permit as soon as possible. I had my license as soon as possible. Even though growing up in the country, anybody else grew up in the country like me? You were driving before. We were driving tractors on the road. I used to take our boat out in the river and camp by myself. And I'd use our tractor with an orange triangle on the boat trailer, and that was legal. We were driving farm trucks on the short parts of the highway. Back roads, oh yeah, you were driving. We were driving pickup trucks when we were 12 on the roads back there. But it was nice to be able to go on the paved roads. No, I disagree. They don't have that stuff because they refuse to work for it. No. Well, the thing is, Kay, it doesn't matter if they work for it. I know we wandered off the Rob Reiner thing, but this is acceptable because it kind of goes off the mental stuff and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of them that don't work for it. How'd they get that way? They were taught, not sticks and stones would break my bones. They weren't taught that the ant is the hero. The guy who worked his butt off was the hero in The Grasshopper and the Ant. They're taught words hurt, and they're taught that ant is the jackass who doesn't just give the grasshopper stuff. It's the way they've taught. And once again, who taught these younger generations? The older ones, the boomers. The boomers started teaching this way. The boomers who got spanked. My generation got spanked. I remember the neighbor, she got spanked. So, but then suddenly, oh my God, we can't spank a kid. Great. You can't ground them, you can't spank them, you can't tell them no. The older generations screwed these younger generations up. Where do you think they got their work ethic from? Mommy and Daddy. I worked at the fitness center, the city fitness center around here. I had people coming in and yelling at me because I dared to discipline their kid for throwing a basketball up on the track, knocking out an 80-year-old woman walking up there, caused her a very, very bad concussion, who I had to call an ambulance for her. She had to stay in the hospital 5 days. I kicked his butt out of there because this wasn't the first time he was in trouble. The parents come in screaming at me. Back in my day, if I'd done something like that, me getting kicked out of the gym would have been the nicest thing happening. My dad would have tanned my ass. Totally. But now, oh no, not my little angel. I'm like, lady, I got it on video. Don't care. It's the older generation that made these kids this way. You got the generation of everybody gets a trophy. There is no winners or losers. They made these soft kids. Strong parents make strong kids. Soft parents make soft kids. Now these kids are fucked. They are. Hopefully and it seems like some of the younger ones are starting to come back. They're starting to see, hey, this doesn't make sense. So, okay, you may be right, they don't want to work for it, but they've been ingrained that way. When I grew up, a parking lot in my high school, 90% of the cars there, let's say 80% of the cars in my high school parking lot, we, the kids, had to buy. The parents didn't buy them for us. That's why you didn't see shitloads of new cars or close to new cars and really nice cars in my high school parking lot at Rock Ridge. It was beaters. Beaters. Most of them were beaters because we paid for them. Now, look what 16-year-olds are driving around in. They're driving around in 2, 3-year-old cars because mommy and daddy just buy them. Why would they ever learn work ethic if the parents don't give it to them? You don't learn it. It's just like kids with cursive. Nobody shows it, so they don't know how to do it. And the phones are a problem. The phones are a problem. If I still had kids today, no. They're going to be limited. In fact, I would not have a child have one of these things. They would have a flip phone. They could text, they could call. They don't need handheld internet without me around. That's all there is to it. The very fact that all the parents, the people that own the social media companies, do not let their own kids on those social media accounts, platforms, says it all. All right. Okay, it's the kids may not be able to do anything, but there's a cause and effect. Bad parents, bad government. They've caused kids to be like this. They're screwed up. And it wasn't that the kids did it themselves. It was done to them. But now we got these kids that are 20-something years old, 25 years old. They get out there in the real world and they can't handle it because, oh my God, we got an inch of snow. They started calling off school. They just bundled us up more. Didn't care. Oh my God, it's 100 degrees. I can't sit at a classroom desk. We did. And we didn't get to have a bottle of water at our desk. You got to drink between your classes. We didn't have, air conditioning up there in that school. We didn't die. They made soft kids. Soft kids were made. Kids, they changed how the kids are graded so they don't fail them. How do you ever get ingrained in yourself that you got to work if they're just going to pass you anyway? Look how many kids we pass that don't read. More than half of America right now reads at an 8th grade level. The younger generations read at 8th grade level. That's not the kids' fault. They were taught that way. The general population has taught them as the schools and colleges. It's not. It is the general population. And I'm going to totally disagree with you, Saga. It is the general population. When you got a parent that isn't grounding a kid, spanking a kid, isn't forcing the kid to do for themselves. You got a parent that is going to buy a 16-year-old, a 3-year-old car, pay their insurance for them, give them an allowance still. My parents are like, okay, you're driving? We never got an allowance. We had a job board on the fridge. Each job paid a certain amount. If you wanted any money that week, you worked for it. Not now. Kids have these allowances. Mommy, daddy hands them money or just gives them a debit card. Yeah. They don't pay for gas. They use mommy and daddy. They use their family account for paying gas. If I wanted gas in my vehicle, insurance, I wanted a vehicle, I paid for it. If I wanted an allowance, I did work for it. So no, it is 100% the general population. It is the parents that are also on the hook for this. It is the parents too. You don't spank the kid. You don't discipline the kid anymore. How many times have all of us been in grocery stores with kids just screaming and acting like total shit nuggets where you look back and go, damn, my mom or dad would have drugged me out of here. Soon as one of the parents starts dragging you out, oh shit, you know you're in trouble. Shit, mom's going to finish shopping while dad goes out to the car with you and wasn't taking you out there to chit chat. You were going to be having a pulsing sore buttock. Sometimes they wouldn't even take you out. They just grab you and pop you on the butt and go, that's it, calm down. And nobody said a word. We disciplined kids. So yes, the general population is done this too. My grandmother taught me to drive, which was her letting. So I disagree. The general population has been involved. The general population has been involved. I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at the drive-in playing a double feature. I remember driving. I was on, I think, my second vehicle. I was driving in a 85 Chevy K5 Blazer that I had taught myself and rebuilt the engine in. It was a nice Blazer. And I was driving with, listening on Power 98.9 at the time. Listening to Turtle Power, the song. TMNT Turtle Power. That song. Going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a couple friends at Milan Showcase Cinemas. Yeah, baby. That song. I don't know if you guys remember back then. I don't know how old you are, but that song was on the radio like crazy. Turtle Power. Look it up. Catchy song. Let's see. Thought you had a Trans Am. I do. I've had 3 Trans Ams, a Camaro, a Chevy Blazer, a Chevy truck, a Dodge truck, a GMC truck. I've had a lot of vehicles. It's a thing. It's a guy thing. It's a me thing. It's a redneck guy thing. Right now I've got a Trans Am and a Chevy Avalanche. I had an 83 Pontiac Trans Am with Crossfire fuel injection, and I had an 85 Trans Am Daytona Pace Car Edition. And I had a 96 Camaro Z28 at one time that was involved in a house fire. That's how I got the Trans Am that I have now. This is why Jax has to ask to hide his cell phone and sneak down to the surf the net after Line does go to sleep. Yeah. Jax don't sneak nothing. Jax knows all the passwords. Jax knows all the passwords. He really does. Oh, don't do that, computer. There we go. All right. You got paid for doing stuff around the house. Well, only because my parents didn't believe in allowance. If we wanted to go to movies or anything, we had to earn our money. The only time our parents paid for movies and candy or stuff like that is if we went as a family thing. You know, we're going to a movie on Thanksgiving Day or something. Or we're going to, hey, we're all going to go to this movie. Or, hey, we're going to the drive-in. It was a family thing. They paid. But if I wanted to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, nope. I had better have the money to pay my gas on my Blazer. I better have had the money for the insurance. And I better have worked somehow, whether it's around the house or at KFC, which I did for a while. I better have had the money to go to that movie. So that's how my parents did it. They didn't give an allowance. We worked. A lot of kids, even when I was younger, they got an allowance. But those kids, even then, didn't have work ethic. Nope, we had to work for it. I've seen videos of college kids, because my parents didn't just give us money. If I wanted a G.I. Joe toy, I had to come up with money for it. I had to work. Whether it was there or up at Walter Four Farms, mucking stalls or putting up bales. Yeah. Growing up in the country, man, that's what the kids did, man. You'd detassel, you'd go baling, and oh, you come home nasty. Couldn't get the smell of pig shit out of your mucking stalls. Oof. But money, baby. I think college kids can't even tell time on a clock. Well, no, because that's how they're taught. And they're in college. Because they don't show them a clock anymore. All they show them is digital. Digital. That's it. They don't show clock faces. A lot of kids don't know cursive because all they see is what's typed. They can't read cursive. They can't read our founding documents because they can't read cursive because they don't show them anymore. There's a lot of that. Remember, they taught them. They went from sticks and stones to words hurt. Same people. And unfortunately, a lot of parents trying to be too nice did the same thing. Twisted ears worked well. And yeah, exactly. Well, my mom, God rest her soul, and we caused this. If me and my brother got her mad at us and our dad wasn't home, we would run. She'd wing a pool ball at us. She'd grab a pool ball off the pool table and wing that ass across the room. Yep. As soon as that thing cracks into the wall next to you, yeah, you're parking, you're stopping. Because the next one she probably might not have missed. And those things will sting. But then, or if we didn't go, if she didn't do that, she'd wait till your dad gets home. It's like, oh, shit. Yeah, twisted ears, spanked butts. Oh, yeah. Good swat on the butt, a good tug on the ear. Oh, yeah. There's more than once me or my brother got pulled out of a store by a parent. It's like, oh, shit. But they taught us discipline. Or at the very least, they taught us to be smarter when we did shit wrong. Taught us to be smart enough not to get caught. That's the way to do it. All right. You're lucky petrol in America is so cheap you can afford big gas guzzlers. Well, also, I'm not trying to be a dick here. Our country's a little bigger. You guys got a lot of little narrow streets. You got to drive what we would call, some of us here call roller skates. Because you ain't getting through some of your city streets or narrow-ass lanes in anything bigger. My Chevy Avalanche probably would not get around very well in a lot of your cities and towns. Sorry, there is an advantage to being a slightly newer country where you built things to be a little more modern. Not saying you guys are backwards, but I've seen some of your cities and stuff and towns and streets and But as for your gas being expensive, talk to your government about that. I do know you guys do it by the liter. We do it by the gallon. Your liters cost more than our gallons, which is nuts. But we don't have gas guzzlers just because we like them. We use them. My wife and I have hauled tons of rock for some of our landscaping, wood for working in our house. Americans have a lot of these bigger vehicles because we have families. We carry our big families in them. We carry tons of stuff on vacations. Our vacations, remember, our vacations in America, you drive from one state two over, you've already gone farther than the UK is big. So you need something. We got huge mountain ranges. We got tropical forests. We got deserts. So, you kind of need them. Our country is a little too big where people whine about, oh my God, well, here in my country, we have good mass transit. Yeah, your country, not your song. I know a friend whose wife laments about how the Philippines has such good mass transit in the city she lived in. Well, our cities have mass transit. Our big cities do. A lot of them have pretty good mass transit. But our country is too big to have a all-encompassing mass transit system. It's huge. So huge streets, huge workloads, we use big vehicles. It's just the way it is. I mean, my Chevy Avalanche isn't even that big compared to some trucks. We have a lot bigger. And our trucks, actually, a lot of our trucks don't get as bad a gas mileage as you think. We have multiple cylinder displacement. They'll turn cylinders off. We got transmissions, a lot of gearing in them. Hell, my wife's Durango, I think, is 12 or 14 speed transmission. Even my Avalanche is 4 and overdrive, 5 speed. My Trans Am's a 6 speed. It depends on how you run them. Also, we don't have your big brother climbing up our ass near as deep as you guys do, where every car has to hit 70 miles a gallon, so it's got to weigh 4 pounds dipped in water. That makes a difference. Also, our country has a lot of its own oil and gas. That helps. That helps. There's a guy from the UK who does a channel asking basic questions to people and they can't answer basic math. Oh, there's a lot of that happens. Rad. There's channels like that all over America, too. People call it street walking. They'll go and walk around the street and ask people questions. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of times where people in America here, we're crying when we see, we're just going, oh. Whoa. When they ask somebody, name 3 countries, and they can't do it. So, yeah, we got them here, too. Well, the name of his degree. Yeah, that happens. Well, snap, that means when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze came out, you were bumping Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice. Yeah, I remember that. I remember thinking it wasn't as good as the first one, though. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle song was the best. Our lanes are very narrow. Yes, they are. Yeah, a lot of your cars are tiny for a reason. You guys have narrow lanes, tight areas. You still have a lot of your housing and buildings up that have been up for 500-600 years before cars, so. Not designed around the automobile. Now you get out in some of your big, what we call expressways. Hey, you got lanes like we got. Then your cars feel like awful tiny. But we do use our big trucks. My wife and I, like I said, she's hauled enough weight. She come home one time, she was so proud of herself finding these big limestone blocks for the wall she was putting up out along our property. The truck was down on the blocks. She had so much weight, and she had to do that 5 times to get all the blocks. Woof. So we use them. That's why we have a lot of trucks here. Americans do a lot of their stuff. We build houses, work houses, fix them, concrete slab work, you name it. Oh, no. All right, I'm going to see what Jay Waters has put about my first car. You guys feel free to open it. Actually, I would drive that. A 4x4 Yugo, I would drive that. That's the link Jay Watterson sent. I would drive that. I really would. Uh-oh, what did I just do? I don't know what I did. Oh, it's not going off that. Oh, that's why. There we go. I would drive that. I would drive a Yugo, a big jacked up Yugo. I know it ain't being powered by a Yugo motor moving them wheels. Makes you wonder what exactly our schools teach. Well, we know what they're teaching them, Sog. If COVID did anything good, when kids were at home learning, parents got to see and overhear what the teachers were teaching them. And that's where everything started going wrong. That's when, after that, the Biden administration started sending the FBI to go after parents, call them dangers. Because they were going, hey, you ain't teaching my kid this. They found out they were teaching their kids to hate America, teaching their kids to be racist, teaching their kids about this gender stuff, weren't teaching their kids math, weren't teaching their kids to read and write, teaching them crazy shit, indoctrinating them with stuff. Outright saying, don't tell your parents this or don't trust your parents. So that's what they're teaching. And I know I've pissed off a lot of teachers. I even have a couple of my family who don't agree with me all the time. But a lot of teachers need to be fired. We have countries that are kicking our ass because they do it by results. They look at the kids' tests every year. And if the teacher isn't putting up, they get fired. They'll test the kids every year. They test the teachers every year. They look at how the teacher's putting out is performance-based. Not in America. We got kids that they got kids that are, like I said, they can't even spell and they're passed. How did you get through grade school and high school English classes, not being able to read and get passed? That's the problem. They don't flunk them. We got kids that can't do 2 + 2. So they're not teaching them. They're spending more time teaching social engineering bullshit. Shit that shouldn't even be in school. Teach us reading, writing, arithmetic, and some science stuff and fuck off. No more of your flags. I don't give a shit who you're dating, if you're gay or you're straight. Teach the fundamentals and leave the rest alone. That's the parents' job. That's the problem. And I have to thank you guys because I was done with the Rob Reiner thing. I hadn't had time to wander away from it, and you guys thankfully got me off it. So appreciate that. But we're not gonna be on a lot longer anyway. But I appreciate it. I think we're just gonna stick with talking with you guys and stick with that because I am pretty tired as it is and didn't have much more to say on it. So let me pull this, go here. There we go, and there. All right. Now I can see you guys up here without looking down. Makes you wonder exactly what our school teaches. I drive tiny 3-cylinder engine cars. Not very macho. There are some of those you can make macho. Direct injection and the multiple, the cam timing systems on today's cars can give those some balls. But sooner or later, there's still no replacement for displacement. Because all that tech, if you take a little rinky-dinky four-cylinder and you yak it up enough to get 250 horse out of it, the stresses on that engine are crazy compared to any larger engine that puts out 250 horse. That's when you have the turbos on everything. Oh, sorry, EcoBoost. It's a turbo. They put turbos on everything now because they're trying to ram as much power out of that little engine as possible. And then, yeah, they've made things real complicated. But you still, when you take even some of the hopped up four cylinders today, you could put that up against a V8 with the new same technology. It's not even close. Hell, my Trans Am is still faster than probably 65-70% of the newer cars on the road. Sometimes no replacement for displacement. Sorry, I know why I'm stuck reading this way now. You know, I can just look at it right here. It's clearer on this. I would like to drive on the Autobahn in a Ferrari. I would like to get my Trans Am on the Autobahn. Yeah, I'll get slaughtered by some cars, but I don't know. I'd love to take that 25-year-old girl out there and just let her open. I mean, not going to say I've had it off the speedometer before. I've had my Trans Am fast enough, I had to read my scanner. I had my scanner with me to read the speed sensor. Because my speedometer ends at 155. It was in the middle of nowhere, on an expressway in the middle of the night, and I saw one car the whole time. Boy, I went by that dude. I was probably well over twice his speed. And that's something when you go by a car that you know is doing right around 80 miles an hour and you go, Phew! It's like, yeah, I might want to slow my butt down a little. But my Trans Am came with tires rated right around 200 mile an hour. The Z-rated tires. But yeah, I had to read it with my scanner for my speed. And that's not that fast. Some of today's cars will slaughter that car. So, I mean, I would hope so. I would hope a Mustang, Camaro, Charger, Challenger, stuff like that from today would slaughter it. It's a 25-year difference. Even though a lot of them are still running an LS-style engine. What's going on with Trump getting rid of the Department of Education? Good things. Since we did Department of Education, all we've done is sink. Before we had it, we were #1 in the world. Now we've done nothing but sink since it. It's bureaucratic bullshit. It's them. It's too political. It's power to the teachers' unions, which I think need to be broken up. Of course, I'm of the mind that no government union should exist. No government worker union should exist. Because there's no competition. Unions were there to protect the workers in places where they had competition. And there's no competition at all in government unions. Because you're not allowed to be a teacher in 99.9% of areas in America unless you're part of the teachers union. So who are you unionizing against? The taxpayers. There's no competition of any type. You're not even allowed. These teachers strike. They hold us hostage. Because in a lot of state constitutions, you're not allowed to hire a teacher that's not part of the teachers union and has this ipso facto degree or this state certification. So you can't even hire anybody. So when teachers in America strike, you're screwed. We don't hold any power at all. So they unionize against us. They take money. They actually do things the teachers don't even want done with their due money. So no, it's a load of crap. Sorry, I'm taking these off. They're getting warm. So yeah, Department of Education's a clusterfuck, and I'm glad it's going to go away. Hey, no problem, Rad. Have a good one, buddy. Appreciate it. I'm going to be out of here in about 5 minutes anyway. Not a Ferrari. And take a Nürburgring. Oh, Nürburgring would be fun. Hell, I'd even like take my old car around it. Just see what I could do. See if I could slide it off into some trees or something. I would like to... There's 2 cars I would like to really drive all out. Nissan GTR. Okay, 3 cars. Well, a couple cars. Nissan GTR, Dodge Challenger, Hellcat wide body, baby, and one of the new Corvettes. I'd love to wring the bejesus out of that. I know a lot of people in Europe make fun of the Corvettes, but the Corvette is a really badass car on the level of supercar level and doesn't cost as much as the supercars. But they're a little arrogant, like to make fun of the Vet. Let's see here. Patriot Act and its surveillance visions. Provisions were promised wouldn't be used on U.S. citizens. Yeah, back in yeah. Jay Watterson, that is a discussion for another day. But yeah, that Patriot Act needs to go away. Patriot Act was the 9/11. Let's not go into conspiracy theories on what 9/11 was or wasn't. But 9/11, no matter what it was the biggest happy wet dream for our intelligence agencies and a lot of people in the deep state of our government that ever could have been. They couldn't have planned that better. But yeah, that they got everything they've always wanted in power over the people. Surveillance like crazy. Yep. Even things like my VPNs, if they really want to dig through, they can get through that. But VPNs do help a lot. I mean, they help a lot. I mean, I can watch live TV from Rad's country, which is nice. And if you do it right, and you know how to do it, nobody can tell unless they really do dig into your shit. So, you've got to know how to use a VPN properly on whatever device you're using it on. And I don't know why we should be cut off anyway. Why I shouldn't be allowed to watch Australian news live. Why Rad shouldn't be able to watch my news live. Why do they keep us separated? If you want to get a conspiracy theory, why do they keep us separated? All right. But yeah, no, the Patriot Act is a cluster. It is clusterfuck. It breaks a lot of constitutional rights. Public employee unions have ruined every sector they've been in. 100%. Jay Watterson, yeah. Yeah, where you and I can vehemently disagree sometimes, we are vehemently going to agree on that. Public sector unions, I think, should be 100% illegal. They should not exist. And also, we shouldn't have the lobbyists. No lobbyists should be talking in our Congress people's ear. That should be illegal as crap. You're there to work for us, not to have people come out lobbying you for trips and food and a job after you're out of Congress for millions of dollars for not even showing up. No, lobbying and public sector unions should go away today. 100%. You don't get to lobby against the American taxpayer when we have no leg to stand on to bring in somebody else in to do your job. Because you've made all the laws and regulations so only you can have that job. So what is it you're unionizing for? It's just to pool your money together to go once again do more shit against us, your bosses. It's crap. So yeah. Jay Waters, a public, yeah, okay, yep. Good choice, GTR. Yeah, I knew you'd go with that, buddy. Ugh. There is a guy in my, lives 3 blocks down over for me. He has the older model, GTR. Fast and Furious era model GTR. It is a right drive. I don't know where he got it, but it's gorgeous and it's just so beautiful. I don't know how he got that here and how he got it okayed, because he ain't a rich dude. He's like a pizza delivery guy. Doesn't use that for deliveries. He has a little rinky-dink rusty car he uses for deliveries. And he lives in a really kind of a shitty apartment. He had somebody today spend all of his money on the car. But I don't know how he got this thing. All right, so I think we did enough on Rob Reiner. I was running into stall on that anyway, so I thank you guys for talking about something else. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Hopefully yet later today or this evening, I can come on and do a stream because I want to go over and react to a video that goes over a lot more about the Venezuela-United States kerfuffle. And I'll just say one thing right now. I would prefer us Whether or not we want to go to war with Venezuela, I'm going to say I have less problems with that if we do than being involved in the Middle East, Israel, Afghanistan, Ukraine, any of that. At least this is right here near us, and we cannot keep letting China, Russia, and our enemies get footholds right below us. We cannot. And you can't have a country that opposing to us right on our border that keeps threatening us and sending us shitty people and stuff like that. Sending us drugs and stuff, so. But yeah. All right. Things up. Sean Ryan and the One-Eyed McCain are feuding. Going to air things out on the stream somewhere around January 2nd. Really? That'd be interesting. Did anybody see, forgive me, did anybody see that Candace Owens and Erica Kirk are going to have a thing? That Erica Kirk's going to come to Candace's show or vice versa or some bullshit? I don't know. Personally, I don't think Candace Owens should have the time of day from that woman, but I'm not saying Erica Kirk's perfect, but I think Candace Owens is a piece of shit. And channel, not to try to piss on him, but one of the channels I was talking about who's put out actual proven falsehoods, including the guy that called all the wrong police stations, never called the one that actually covered Tim Pool's area, that asshole, who put it out there and touted it as the thing, and who has Jew issues, Heavy Duty Country. That's the name of the channel. I wasn't going to put it out there, but I really don't want to kerfuffle with a channel that big. But you know what? The next couple videos after are just as horrid. He still puts out just the Jews and oh my God, conspiracy theory, mystery box shit. I would have thought a big strong cowboy down there likes fire. I would have been a big fan of the girly TV show mystery box bullshit. But hey, whatever. Whatever. He can be wrong or he's just chasing them views. I don't know. Found out, hey, Candace is raking some bank on this. Maybe I'll rake some bank. If that's the reason he's doing it, I can respect that a little bit. Respect the grift. But hey. When? I don't know. Okay, it depends how my day goes. I got a goofy flipping day. I got to help my father out. And got some other stuff going on. But I will try to post a notification before all my... I'll put out a post. Or maybe I'll do a video short on it and say, hey, come join the discussion, blah, blah, blah. I'll put something out. I'm going to try to do it at least 2 hours before I do it. But it won't be... It depends what time I get up after being up this late. They're supposed to meet later today in private. Okay, that's what it was? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how good that does. Because what are they going to say? What are they going to say? Seriously. What are they going to say together? I mean, if I was Charlie Kirk's wife, I'd walk in going, bitch, you keep my husband's name out your mouth. Maybe she should bring Will Smith with her. How's that? Bring Will Smith. Will Smith hasn't done a good smackdown in a while. Okay. Let me see, Jay Ryan. Let me see what that is all. Let me see here. Come on. Okay. I'll check that out if I get time yet today. What the hell is my computer doing? I got too many windows open on this other computer is what it is. Oh, Dan Crenshaw. Yeah, the thing is, Dan Crenshaw is kind of a piece of shit. He's kind of a piece of shit. He's a disappointment. A lot of people that had hopes for him, really, he's disappointed them. Including that guy, not newscaster, the personality on Fox News. The guy has, was it Jay Jones or whatever? He had his legs, lost his legs in the military. He says the same thing. He says, yeah, Crenshaw is he's a very big disappointment. Will Smith, what a cuck. Yeah. Yeah, Will Smith is always... He's got a new series coming out for like Disney Plus where they're actually going out and doing like a Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom thing going around. Not just animals, but societies and doing stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, let's see. It is... Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. All right, yeah, we've been on like just about an hour and 20. Is that right? Is that right? Hour and 34. Okay. Hour and 34 minutes. That's pretty good. That's under 2 hours. Whoa. Nobody likes Crenshaw. Except people keep voting him in. It's like the governor of my godforsaken state that my wife says looks like Tony Soprano. I said, yeah, he really does look like an old school Chicago gangster. He looks like a mobster, kind of truth in advertising. No, Pritzker is very unpopular here, but he gets voted in because of goddamn Chicago. Vote blue no matter who. If that person screws us, vote even bluer. And we're all stuck on that shit. I mean, if you remove Chicago out of the voting pool, and Pritzker's gone tomorrow. He'll be voted out instantly. But he'll probably win the next time, unless he's too busy running for president. Oh, boy. So, yeah. There's a real movement. People would love to break Chicago off of Illinois. Problem is, the United States Congress has to sign off on that, which I don't think they should have to, because I think if we're free people, we should have the right to go and join a state or a county that goes with our beliefs. If our government, whatever, isn't enacting our beliefs, why we have to stay as hostages now? That makes no sense. Look at the map of Crenshaw's district. It's how he got elected. Yep. Well, here, go look at what part of Illinois voted for Donald Trump. Illinois overwhelmingly went for Donald Trump, except for Chicago. Chicago drug us into, we're a blue state because of Chicago. This state is almost as red as Iowa. But Chicago, ugh. I don't like how we're held hostage. Hey, Kay, look, background. I got something going. Thought of you. I actually took time. This is Raphael. Go look him up on YouTube. He plays a lot late at night. He's a good guy. I've actually sent a couple super chats to him because I do watch him a lot at night when I'm up or doing meds or doing something with the animals. I'm a night owl. But yeah, this is Raphael. Rafire. He's on YouTube regularly, almost at least 5 nights a week, very late. Because he works like a different shift, so he goes on I think he goes offline at like 7 a.m. So he's on for like 7-8 hours. So yeah. So no, he's going in the background right now. He's actually a channel I do watch. I mean, I'm subscribed to him and everything. Let me see. Yeah, Rafire. Sorry, I don't have the link here, but I can open it up. I have no problem doing that. Hang on. I'll actually just link him. If I'm going to put him back there, I might as well, right? Do. Raphael. This is him right here. He's live right now. This is his channel. So, boink. And there he is. So I will share if you guys like any gaming stuff or especially something just to fall asleep to and watch. I'm not saying he's boring. I'm just saying some people like to put gaming on at night. I don't know how much you guys are into gaming. Boy, I saw a great Counter-Strike match last few days. You know, boy, FaZe Clan really fell apart. Wow. They really did. They really fell apart. All right. Be glad it's only one city that you have that way, not 3 or more. Well, the thing is, Kay, it doesn't matter. Because we do have Peoria. Peoria and Springfield are also pretty heavily slanted. More Springfield. But it doesn't matter because Chicago is just so massive, it outrules the whole rest of the state. Even if we had Peoria and Springfield still in this state, we would still be a majority Republican state. This state is, Iowa's got its blue spots, but it's still way majority red. We're way majority red, even with Peoria and a couple of the other blue cities. It's just massive, massive blue Chicago. So all it takes is the one. That's all it takes. But yeah, that right there is the link for Rapfire. If he likes gaming at night, check him out. I don't know if anybody saw the Counter-Strike from a tournament that ended today. Wow. That was something. And they really love to hate on Apex. Jax Preserves cat videos. Actually, weirdly, my animals, they don't really raise their head at cat videos or animals on TV. Now, I can get my dogs to pay attention to Bluey once in a while, because I found out their eyes can see the Bluey cartoon, the coloring a little better. You know, Riker's eyes see 4 colors very well. Because of the hunting, his gold eyes, they see a lot more colors. But some dogs, they don't always see black and white. They actually see some shades, a lot of dogs. All right, guys, do me a favor. Like Bunny would say, please hit thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming in. I know we wandered off Rob, but I think I'd run that course on Rob. But we will actually be out of here under 2 hours. Color that weird, huh? But I will try to be back this afternoon or this evening. It'll probably be an hour to hour and a half live stream. And it's just reacting to this one video I saw. It says a lot about the United States Venezuelan thing. And I have definite thoughts on it. We'll see what you guys think. All right. Stay safe. Take care. Thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much, Jay Watterson. Sog. I know Joel and a couple of the other people. And I know Rad. Rad had to go. But thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And I am going to hippity hop. I know this is behind here. Wow, I don't know why it's so far behind. There we go. How's that? I don't know what you guys are seeing on that. Okay. All right. Have a good one. Thank you very much, Sog. Have a good one. Be safe over there, man, because I've been hearing more rumblings saying that they think your country is within, anyway, some people say 6 months. Some say within 6 years of an actual all-out civil war. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? But leave comments below, like, subscribe, share my idiotic channel with anybody you think might be interested. And have a good one, and I will talk to you later. And just a second, I want to see who's dead down here. I have no animals. Whoa. There is no livestock down here. All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.